Hello, everyone. I'm Mr. Bruno. I'm the College and Career Counselor at Round Lake High School, and I am going to be going over the class of 2022 junior presentation. Traditionally, we do this as two different presentations. I'll do a presentation for students during the daytime, and then I do a presentation for families in the evening, but we're going to do one big presentation now. So in order to make it easier, I'm going to do it in two parts. So the first part of the presentation is going to be basic information. We'll talk about the counseling department, ways to gather information, and then we'll go over the college timeline, the search timeline. And then the second part of the presentation will be all about the college search. So this part will be all information and timeline. Second part, college search. So let's jump on in. So objectives for this presentation are going to be discussing different ways to receive and gather information, review a timeline of important and upcoming events, and deadlines. I'll actually turn my camera off so that way you can see the entire screen here. What are some ways that we communicate opportunities to our students and to parents and families at Round Lake High School? Well, we use daily announcements. Those come through Infinite Campus. Those traditionally come through when we are in the building. So you will be getting announcements though through email, through Infinite Campus. So make sure you are checking your email. Infinite Campus messages to students, like I said, flyers and large posters put up around the school when we're in the building, which we are now, as you can see. I'm in my office from the video when it was just up. Email, we'll talk about email in a second. Round Lake High School website, the website is updated often, so make sure you're checking the website, especially for things on our calendar and events. You can also check when you go to the website, you can check the counseling page. I'll show you in a moment. Our social media, our Facebook and our Twitter handles are important, especially as you're transitioning from your junior to your senior year. There are a lot of events and a lot of scholarships and a lot of information that I put up on our social media page that are targeted to seniors. So make sure you are following our Facebook and our Twitter. I'll give you our handles on the next or in a few slides from now. So get ready to jot those down, or if you have this PDF printed out, because I'll send all of you this PDF, make sure you follow those. In the building, we also have TV monitors in the hallways and the gathering spaces. We have events that are upcoming that will follow you on those screens that you can take pictures of or you can jot down in your notebook. We have large group presentations in person if applicable. Otherwise, we do presentations like this virtually, or we do live presentations virtually, videos, live presentations if needed, if we can't be in person. And then we also do hand-delivered notes to students when they're in classrooms when we're back in the building. So we definitely look forward to being back. We're glad we're back right now. We can't wait to see you back in the building. So what does the counseling department website look like, if you are wondering? So when you go to the main Round Lake High School website, you just go all the way to the right where it says school services. You can see it in yellow on the screen. When you pull down, it'll say counseling. You'll click the counseling tab, and then you will see the counseling page pop up right there. There's a whole bunch of information on the counseling page, not just about counseling, but also about college. You can find stuff about scholarships, about College of Lake County. You can find stuff about athletics. There's just a whole ton of information, college rep visits. There's a lot of really good information on our page. If you need to send transcripts, there's a ton of information. So how about our Twitter and Facebook handles? You can follow us on Twitter at RLHS Counseling and then on Facebook, RLHS Counseling. Again, I would highly recommend following us on Twitter and Facebook. So the best ways to get updated information are going to be Twitter, Facebook, and once again, please let me stress email, 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 email. You will be receiving emails from your counselors. You will be receiving emails from all the colleges you apply to. Email is just the way that things work these days, and it's the way things have been working for a while, and the way things will be working probably for a very long time into the future. So if you are not great students at checking your email now, it's the time to get really, really great at it. I know sometimes you look at your phone and you have 1,000 emails, your iPad, and you have 1,000 emails. This is not the time to let that happen. You should make sure you're checking your email a few times a day and making sure that You're getting through it, you're checking them, you're reading them and deleting them if they're not important. You will be receiving emails about scholarships, about upcoming events, about the FAFSA, about when there's representatives coming in the building. Your counselors will be emailing you about course selection, about so many events coming up. You really need to be on top of it. So that's just from our school piece. But then again, the college piece, you're going to find out from your future colleges when it's time to register for classes, if you've been accepted to their school, scholarship opportunities. You're going to find out about college campus visits, should there be access to those. You're going to find out so much information from colleges also. So you want to be really good at checking your email. I cannot stress enough how important being organized in your email is. How do I sign up for rep visits at Round Lake High School? So we do rep visits every year at Round Lake High School. What a rep visit is that a college and career, a college representative, an admissions representative comes from a college all over. We have representatives, we had hundreds of representatives last year. We've had 150 plus representatives this year from colleges all over the United States. Sometimes we had one from Ireland. We have them from all over the place. Normally in person, this year virtually. We'll see how it goes next year, but same system to sign up for it. There's a Google Doc that you will sign up to be a part of. And then the representative comes either virtually or in the building, and they will do traditionally a 35-minute presentation about their school. They'll let you know everything about it. Tuition, courses offered, really fun facts and information about the school. And then the last 15 minutes, they open up a question and answer for the students to ask specific questions about their college. These are the best people to ask questions about because they know so much about the college. And they also are traditionally the people that are going to be looking over your application when you apply to the school. So you get to build a relationship with the person that will eventually be looking at your application. So this is really an important relationship to build because you get to put a face to your application. It's easy to apply to school. It's hard. I mean, it's not an easy process. It is easy to just send an application in, but it is not easy to build a relationship with somebody. This gives you the opportunity to get your foot in the door to build that relationship. So the college process is not easy, but pushing send on an application is pretty easy. Building a relationship is much harder. This is the beginning of that relationship that you can build. Schools also really enjoy knowing a student is passionate about the school or at least shows interest in the school. This is a way to show interest in a school. Schools keep track of this. They will ask for your information when you sign up, when you attend one of these events. So they will say, hey, student, can you fill out this form? And then they will track in their system that you showed up. So that way they can say, oh yeah, I see that you attended our rep visit at Round Lake High School. You came to a college visit, you did XYZ. You're really interested in our school. That's amazing. Some schools even have scholarships for students that attended a certain amount of events. There's a lot of really great reasons to attend rep visits, not just to hear about the school and ask questions and answers. So I highly recommend these. I have sent the link to our junior class multiple times in the last 4 or 5 months to participate in this. So if you are interested, you can still sign up. There are rep visits going on throughout the rest of this semester. If there's any schools on there that you are interested in, please feel free to sign up. You are allowed to participate in up to 3 events, 3 rep visits a semester, a quarter. If you are interested in participating in more than that, just reach out to me, Mr. Bruno, and I can talk to you about that. You will sometimes have to miss a course or a class in order to be a part of this. If you need to do that, again, please let me know so I can partner with your teacher. You should also let your teacher know that you're going to be missing class to be a part of this, so we can get you excused for that class. Again, you do need to sign up in advance for these. Traditionally, the rep visit shuts down a day or 2 beforehand. I shut it off the website because I do need to send you the link or I need to send you a pass. So you just need to make sure you're checking this. I update this almost every day, every other day, whenever a new college representative signs up. So I would bookmark this when you get the email from me. And again, you've gotten this email multiple times, but I will send this email out again to students with the link. I would put this link in your bookmark up at the top of your iPad or on your computer. So that way you can check this maybe once a week to see if there's any new schools that you're interested in. Again, a really great way for you to spend time getting to meet a college representative. This is for students only. This is only for our Round Lake students. How to get in touch with me. You can either email me directly, you can reach out to me. Actually, you can also come to the College and Career Center where I'm in D303C. Right now, again, we are virtual, so in order to meet with me virtually, I will give you my calendar in a minute. There's a whole team of counselors in the building. I am the College and Career Counselor, but everybody has their direct counselor. This is the list of all of the counselors. They have their caseload by last name. So I will leave this up here for a few seconds to see who your student's counselor is. You can always reach out to your student's counselor if you have any questions also. They're always there. You can find this information by going to the counseling website also. You can always search us on the Round Lake High School website also. If you need to book an appointment with me, since we can't meet in person right now, you can always book an appointment with me through Calendly. When you go to Calendly, you can either type in that link right there, calendly.com/jbruno-5/30min, or scan that QR code. When you scan the QR code, it will take you to my Calendly. Anytime you see an appointment slot available, you can book an appointment and I would be happy to meet with you. There's a note section. I would just appreciate some notes on what you want to meet about, and we can meet and go over information. If you have any questions, I'm happy to meet with students, if your families have questions, we can meet together also. I just ask that if it is a family meeting, to make sure the student's there. I think it's really important for this to be a student-driven process because it is the student that's going to be going off to school. So I would ask for students to be involved in every step of this process, and we'll get into that a little bit more. Some upcoming events that are going to be happening, because it may feel like there's not a lot going on your junior year since you're in a pandemic, but there is a lot of options still available. The Illinois Regional College Fair that's happening soon is coming up April 13th and 14th. The times will be announced shortly. You can keep checking the website. It's www.iacac.org/6x6 / The way that this works is you can register for one session every 45 minutes. Traditionally, they do about 3 sessions. It's really cool because you can see this is a slide from the last regional college fair that they did. You pick one of the 6 sessions that are there. Let's just use an example. We use session 1A. Say you're really, really interested in hearing from the University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign. So you would say that you wanted to student register for session 1A. You would listen to Northland, Franklin, Ohio University, University of Wisconsin, Milwaukee, Michigan, and then U of I. But each school talks for about 3 minutes, and then they open up 3 minutes of questions. So it's like a really quick pace question and answer. And then at the end, they open up question and answers for everybody. So it's 45 minutes, but it's really fast paced. The college reps talk really, really quickly about their school. They give you the most important information, and then they give you the opportunity to ask more poignant questions, and they give you their contact information so that way you can then continue to ask more questions afterwards. It's just a nice way, again, to show your interest in a school, to get some more information. You may not know anything about Ohio University. You may be looking to just hear about University of Illinois, but you get to hear about 5 other different schools. And again, you sign up for 1 session per segment of time, or if you only want to sign up for one for the whole night, you can do that also. It's virtual, so just dress nice from the waist up and be comfortable, and you can wear sweatpants, which is you can't do when you have to go to one of these events in person. The NACAC National College Fair, which is traditionally in person, is going to be virtual this year. Also, all their events have been virtual this year. And the next event is going to be virtual also. It is going to be Sunday, May 2nd from 12 to 6 p.m. our time, Central Time. There will be over 500 colleges and universities registered to attend that event, so it's huge. Normally, it's at McCormick Place or in Milwaukee. It's at one of their major event centers. So again, it's nice. You don't have to drive all the way to the city or all the way to Milwaukee for this event. It's free. You do need to register ahead of time. It's just virtualcollegefairs.org. Again, I would say dress nicely. This is a traditional college fair environment. besides it being virtual. So it's traditional, non-traditional. You will sign up ahead of time, and then you will be granted access to get into this virtual college fair on your computer or iPad, where there will be 500 plus schools. You choose the schools you want to talk to. You will go into their Zoom room. You'll have a chance to talk to the college representatives. You'll be able to ask questions. They'll be able to meet you. And then you'll be put onto their list to get information as the year goes on. But they get to know you a little bit. It may not be your direct admissions representative or your direct admissions counselor like it is when they come into the building, but you at least get to meet somebody and you get to start that conversation. So again, it's nice. You don't have to drive far. You can do it from home. It's on a Sunday. It's 6 hours long. You can join for 15 minutes, for 2 hours, for 6 hours. So it's free. I highly recommend it if you have the opportunity and you're thinking about college as the next step. All right, so let's talk about college. Let's talk about some timelines, specifically about what you should be doing now and throughout your senior year. Let's start with talking about what are post-high school options in general. So there's the 4-year college or university, which is going to be your bachelor's degree program. There's a 2-year community college option, which is an associate's degree or a certification program. There's trade school, so that comes in multiple options. That could be beauty school. That could be going in you could be an electrician, plumbing. You could also do. There's a million different trade school options for you. You can go automotive. You can do anything in the trade school route. There's apprenticeships. So again, you can do an apprenticeship for plumbing, electricians. You could be a carpenter apprentice. So do trade school apprenticeship, military. Is another one. There's all the branches of the military you can go directly into, and there's also the workforce. If you feel like you have no idea what you're doing and this feels overwhelming, it's okay. It happens. A lot of people feel this way. A lot of people have felt this way at this time where you are for many, 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 many years. You will get there. You have time. Um, You have me, you have families, you have your counselor, you have teachers, you have a lot of support. You just need to know that we do not know that you need the support unless you let us know that you need the support. So you need to self-advocate as a student to let your counselor know, to let me know, to let people around you know that you need the support to help you figure out what next steps could be. Reach out, let us know. We're happy to help you. So why college? Why? Some people ask that question, like, why do I need to go to college? Why don't I just jump into the job force? College is expensive. What's the reason? And so the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics every year puts out this data to show unemployment rates and earnings by educational attainment. And so the way to read this graph is, if you look to the right of the graph where you see the green bars, this is a median. So this is the mean. They take all of the numbers together, they add it up and get it. So actually, let's start at the blue. This would be easier to look at. If you look at the percent of unemployment for people with less than a high school diploma, it's 5.4% is the unemployment rate in 2019. I know things are a lot of bit different now, but in 2019, it was 5.4% if you had less than a high school degree. As you move up with education and with degrees, it got lower and lower. We're primarily talking about an associate's degree and a bachelor's degree today, so we'll just stick to that middle. So 2.2%, 2.7%. So the average is you're cutting that chance of unemployment in half by having a degree, which is huge. And then if you look at the side next to it, the usual weekly earnings, less than a high school diploma traditionally makes $592, according to this survey. Where if you have a bachelor's degree or an associate's degree, you're talking about $887 a week with an associate's degree, and you're talking $1,248 with a bachelor's degree. So that's a little bit over double for the bachelor's degree, and that's a little bit less than double for the associate's degree. So why college? Because it does, according to the U.S. Bureau of Labor and Statistics, means your chance for unemployment is less, the chance to earn more is more. And so that's why people say college is the right choice. And college can, again, mean trade school. It can mean a 2-year associate's degree, or it can mean going all the way up to your bachelor's, master's, and then your professional, your doctoral degree. Um, does that mean having a master's degree or having a bachelor's degree means you're definitely going to have a job? No. That's why 2.2% of people there is an unemployment rate. It's not 0%. That's why the median usual earnings rate is 1,248, not infinity. So it doesn't mean for sure that this is going to be the case, but this is an average of the United States. They use the current population survey, so they use the data when they take the census to get this information. It's really great data. It's a large segment of data, and you can see that it shows it's going to college is beneficial to lower unemployment and higher earnings. So let's talk about now, and we'll move all the way up until your senior year for the timeline of what you could be doing. So now you should start researching which colleges and which majors you're interested in and what the requirements are for those schools. So how can you do that? You can do two different things. You can either use collegeboard.org, or I would recommend using SCORE. SCORE is new. We just rolled it out this year. All of you have been invited to SCORE. I have sent you multiple invitations to join SCORE. So if you haven't done that, I will send another invitation to join SCORE. SCORE is the service that we were lucky enough to be invited to as a school to participate in early on as an early adopter. SCORE is a really cool service where students can make college lists. They can do career inventories. It's this like really, really, really user interactive system that is college driven, career driven. It's just really, really, really cool and really, really easy to use. You can download the app on your iPad. You can go on the website. It's the SCORE app is available in the Student Center, score.com. If you want to make a college list, and I highly recommend making a college list, you can just scan that QR code on your screen. Or again, I sent this video out as a PDF. You can scan it later. If you want to create a career profile, if you don't know what major you want to be involved in, if you don't know what you want to do in the future, and it's early, you do not need to decide what you want to do in the future today for what you're going to do in 6 years from now. But if you want to get an idea about what you like and what you're passionate about, and I would recommend doing that, you can create a career profile if you don't know. If you have an idea of what you love, great, you're in a really good spot. That's an awesome place to be. Then focus on the college list. If you're like, I don't know, I don't have any idea what I'm passionate about, nothing really excites me, work on that career profile first. You can scan the QR code to your right that says how to complete a career profile. Again, this is just for our Round Lake students. You need to have the invitation code that's sent to your school email in order to participate in this. If you've already signed up for SCORE, if you already followed the link that I sent you a few times and you signed up, you can just log into your SCORE account and start working on these now. Once you watch the video, if you don't know how to create these, watch the video. It will walk you through how to do this. I'll also talk a little bit more about the college list in the next video. And then use the SCORE career profile to take an interest skill inventory to review different career fields and the requirements. So these are things I would be doing now this semester just to start getting an idea about next steps as we move closer to your senior year. And then also April. So now we're back from spring break. Keep doing well and prepare for your SATs. So SATs will be on April 13th. So if you're watching this video over spring break, when you get back from spring break, SATs will be right around the corner. So that will be the next thing that you need to take. A lot of schools went test optional for our seniors this year, and I believe a lot of schools will be test optional for your graduating class. So what that means is schools that went test optional, instead of looking at your ACT or SAT scores to decide to admit you to their school, they're looking at your grades, looking at your involvement in the school, in the community, they're looking at your personal essay. They're giving a lot more weight on those categories. When I send your transcript or when you send your application to schools, the last set of grades you have are your junior year grades. So this semester, right now, your junior year semester grades, that whole year, that's it. That's your final grades you're going to send your school when you apply. because you'll be in your first semester senior year when you are sending those applications in. You will not have final grades yet for that senior year. So what you're doing today is what your final representation of your grades are when you're applying for your senior year. So think about that now, is how you're doing now is the representation that you will be sending out to colleges. So are you doing everything you can be doing in order to send that to a college? If there's things you could be doing, can you get your grades up before the end of the semester? Because this is exactly how you're presenting yourself when you're applying to schools. So keep that in mind. If there's things you can work on, if you can get your grades up, now's your chance to do that. You want to present the best version of yourself to schools. If you're not a great test taker, SATs, ACTs were not my jam when I was in school. I did better on grades. I didn't love tests. That just wasn't how I did well. So this would have been great for me. Not sending a standardized testing score would have been awesome for me in my getting into colleges. So I would have been so happy had that's been the case for me. Some students do so good on test scores, and so they have the option to. That's why it is optional. It's test optional. So if you do not want to send your score, you do not have to, but you just need to make sure you're doing good on your essay, your involvement, and your grades. If you want to send your test score, then you still want to be doing good on all those other fronts, but your test score will just be like another bump up for you. When we get back from spring break, make sure you're continuing to meet with the college reps. You can visit colleges that are allowing socially distanced visits if you are able to get to them, or you can go to www.uvisit.com. You can do college visits over spring break virtually. There's a lot of schools on UVisit that you can walk their campuses and see what the school's like. There's also really cool YouTube video college visits. Search a school. If you search like University of San Diego, you can see people doing like University of San Diego college visit tours. Like you can see really cool tours. University of Arizona walking tour. Like people from the college campus do really, really, really cool tours of their school. I know TikTok, there's tons of videos out there of the college process and like walking tours. People just have a really fun time showing their campus because they love their school and they love to show it off. So find some videos, see if you like what the campus looks like. It's just a nice way to like see, like, could you even envision yourself at a place like that? Is it somewhere that you can see yourself? Do you want to live in Oklahoma? Is that a place you ever thought about? Is Utah your dream? So if it's not something you even thought about before, then maybe exit off your list. Think about upcoming summer opportunities to strengthen your resume, jobs, summer programs, volunteer opportunities, etc. Do not say that there was nothing you could do because you were in the pandemic. Don't put that on resume. Don't put that on applications. Don't put that on scholarship applications next year. There are opportunities. There have been opportunities throughout this entire pandemic. Feed Our Starving Children is still doing things. There have been opportunities virtually for volunteering. There have been clubs. Brown Lake High School has done clubs virtually for the last 4 months. So there has been a lot of opportunities. There will continue to be a lot of opportunities. There may be many less than in previous years, but if you wanted to participate in them, there were opportunities. So I'm not saying that you need to go from your house to go do something. I'm saying you could participate in things virtually and it still counts. And I think people would be, representatives, scholarships would be really interested to see how um, smart you were and how you figured out how to like deal and cope with still being like an active member of your community, school, and community at whole when it comes to things like community service and being involved through a pandemic and like that like ingenuity. uh, so if you're not doing it now, I would recommend thinking about how you're going to be involved in that next year, should this still be a virtual format or a hybrid format. So think about that. Like I said, Google like virtual volunteer opportunities, Google any kind of summer programs. Think about the idea that like during the summer, there's a lot of like summer camps. Like, can you do things for summer camps? Because it's going to be outside, it could be socially distanced, things like that. Is there stuff that you could be doing that can like keep you safe, keep you at a distance, and you can still participate in? And then you're going to want to start thinking about your safety, your match, and your reach school options. We will talk about that in further detail in the next video, but you really want to work on your safety, match, and reach schools. And then summer before your senior year. So now we're jumping into summertime. You want to finalize that list of colleges you want to apply to, because once you get back into school, the application process begins. You do not want to apply to schools right now. So please, let me say that again. Do not apply for schools now. If you start applying to schools today, you are applying for the wrong year. You would be applying to schools where the seniors are applying. So do not apply to schools now, otherwise you're applying for the wrong year. You can start working on your personal statements. So there are Common App statements available for next year already. You can just go to commonapp.org. You can actually Google 2021, 2022 Common App statements. So if the school you're applying to is going to ask you to apply on the Common App, and there are hundreds of schools that have you apply through the Common App, you can see what the personal statements are. A lot of schools are going to require you to have a personal statement to apply on the Common App. This will give you many, many months to start working and crafting your personal statement. There's about 6 or 7 personal statements that you can write in order to have it in the Common App. So this is a good way to see that. Again, do not apply for the 2020, 2021 Common App. You will be applying 2021, 2022. That will open up next year when you get back to school, not this year. You can visit colleges virtually over the summer again, uvisit.com, and then you can start looking for scholarships over the summer. Goingmerry.com is a great way for you to look at nationwide scholarships. So nationwide scholarships are scholarship opportunities where you are going up against a large swath of students. So there are students from all over the nation who are applying for scholarships with you. Going Merry is really cool because you spend a little bit of time at the beginning putting in a bunch of information about yourself, and it takes all of that information and it matches scholarships that work really well for you. So the more information you put in about yourself, the better the scholarships match you. So it's really actually a cool system for Going Merry. There's fastweb.com also. There's scholarships. There's a lot of scholarship tools, but FastWeb and goingmerry.com are the two that I really think are the best systems, where I think Going Merry is like top of the line. So www.goingmerry.com/C/James B-87 RL4 for all of our Round Lake students. That's the best way to go about it. That will allow us as your counselors to keep an eye on how you're doing. And if you have questions, it's just nice. That's a good way for us to keep an eye on your progress, is to use that link. Going Merry is also really cool because it will allow you to sort your scholarships by how long it takes to do the scholarship. It gives you an idea, a real-time idea of how long the scholarships take to do. It also will give you an idea of when it tells you the deadlines. So if you think to yourself, oh, I have an hour, I can get a scholarship done in the next 45 minutes, and then you see when it's due, you can sort that way and then get through a 45-minute scholarship. They're not always the easiest scholarships to receive because you are going up against a lot of people, but the more scholarships you apply for, the more opportunities you have to win them. Winning a lot of $500 scholarships adds up really quick. Heck, winning one $500 scholarship is nice. I mean, $500 is a lot of money. So I recommend it. I think it's a great way to start. Students always ask, the number one question I'm asked is where can I get scholarships at? So this is how you do it. You will not get scholarships. You will not get FAFSA money unless you work for it. Nobody just gives free money to people you have to work for scholarships. You have to apply for the FAFSA. These are things you have to work for. So this is your time to start working for it. The summer of before your senior year is a great time. So you're not in school, you don't have homework. This is the time, if you really want to dedicate it, now is that time to do it. Then fall of your senior year, so you're back, it's August. Senior week will begin August 30th. It will go to September 3rd. We will talk way more about that when you get back, because the beginning of senior week will be your senior presentation, your first senior presentation. And it will be all about super, super in-depth information about the college process. We'll talk about the Common App. We'll talk about all the things you need to know about like the application process in deep detail. So you will learn a lot. And then there will be a bunch of activities senior week, and it will end with College Palooza on September 3rd, where you'll be able to like work on finalizing applications, reviewing financial aid information. Although you will not do the FAFSA until October 1st when it opens, you will be able to create your FSA ID, which is the ID that you need and your parent or guardian needs in order to complete the FAFSA. Having that created will save you time when actually completing the FAFSA in October. All right, let's talk about the FAFSA because that's like the second most important question we get asked. So when can you do the FAFSA? The FAFSA will open for you, class of 2022, on October 1st of this year. Like I said about applying to colleges right now, please do not complete the FAFSA right now. If you complete the FAFSA right now, you will be applying for the wrong one. You will be applying for the FAFSA for the seniors who are in the class of 2021. You are in the class of 2022. So wait, on October 1st, that is the day you can apply for the FAFSA. If you apply for this right now, you'll just be spending time doing something you don't need to do. It's excellent to apply on October 1st. You should do it as early as possible in the correct year. So normally we do FAFSA Fest the first Friday of October. This is awesome because the first Friday of October is October 1st. So you will be able to complete the FAFSA on October 1st with the help of the counselors and ISAC, and we'll have a team available. We will keep you in the loop on what that's going to look like as we get closer to October 1st. We will do some financial aid presentations to give you more information on the whole process come September. After FAFSA Fest, there are a lot of college application requirements and deadlines that are going to come up pretty quickly. You're going to see deadlines for schools, early application deadlines, and then regular decision deadlines coming up. Some of the key dates are November 1st, November 15th, December 1st, December 31st. Those like 1st, 15th, 31st deadline dates are like big dates. So keep a heads up on those dates. The early application deadline date is November 1st traditionally. So if you're thinking about applying early action, think November 1st. Early action is the opportunity for you to apply to a school in this early bucket. By applying early action to schools that have early action deadlines, schools will look at your application before they look at all of the regular decision applications, which gives you a bit of a like preferential treatment because if they have 1,000 spots to fill and 500 early application deadlines come in, you have a lot better chance of getting into one of those 1,000 spots than if they look at the regular decision pile and 20,000 applications came in that pile. So if you can get in early action, I would recommend it. Early action is A-OK. Early decision, which is ED, is a legally binding contract. That is something that we as counselors, as college career counselors, we caution and we would like for you to speak to us about. It's a legally binding contract. So early action, A-OK. Early decision, don't do unless you talk to us. And then the other date, you want to have the FAFSA completed by Thanksgiving. The FAFSA is like a pool, imagine, and that pool is money, not water. But the more people that jump in it, the money starts to come over the side like it does in a pool with water. But eventually there's no more water because there's so many people in that pool of metaphorical money. You don't want to be the last person to jump in the pool. The sooner you get it done, the chances of you getting that full amount are more possible. And it could never run out, but you don't want to wait too long and find out you could have gotten the full Pell and MAP grant amount. That would just not be great because it takes 30 minutes to an hour to complete. You have our support. It's free to get your FAFSA done with our. It's free to complete the FAFSA no matter what, but it's free to get the help from our team and the ISAC team and the support from the school. So have us help you do it. We will help you get it done by Thanksgiving, and you're just one less thing to think about. So there are going to be some question and answer sessions when we get back. The first one will be Monday, March 29th. Well, they're both Monday, but The first one will be 12 to 12:50. So that will be centered around the students. That will be the student session from 12 to 12:50 on Monday. And then in the evening on Monday from 5 to 6, there'll be a Zoom. Both of them will be via Zoom. That one will be directed towards families. Students, you're free to attend to that one. Families, if you need to come to the 12 to 12:50 to work on your schedule, that's okay too. It's fine. They will both be in English and Spanish. There will be one link sent out for both of them. We will be doing a breakout room. So if you need to participate in English or in Spanish, you can come to both of the events. Again, feel free to come to either one, 12 to 12:50 or 5 to 6 p.m. Sign up to make an appointment with me if you have questions as we move forward through the next year and a half. This will be the conclusion of this video, and then the next video will be all about the college search.